Poquito podcast. Poquito podcast.
So now you know the president of the United States is your butt.
That's what I put. Third farty candidate.
LOL. Who do you think the president's going to be?
I don't know, but I've been getting in a lot of fights lately about it with my friends.
Physically, just battle royale.
I got in a fight on the way over here with a friend.
About it?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's not going to matter. We're going to be sad. If we're sad anyway, we're going to be all fucked up no matter what.
It's
TM.
It's a bittersweet, not bittersweet. It's just a very complicated situation. And the more and more as time passes and the world's changing and the world's evolving and more and more, people are changing, their expectations are changing. I think it's just getting worse and worse. It's like going off on the far end each way, left and right. And it's a hard, I feel like there should be another party by now. I feel like, I don't know. It's a complicated situation. So a lot of people I hear are saying that they're voting for Trump because of the past 4 years and what they've had to deal with in taxes and finances. And a lot of people are saying that they're voting for Kamala because of the perspective and the changes and the new direction that she is saying that she wants to take things. And who do you believe? Who do you trust? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but I do know what I don't believe in, and that's hatred and racism and sexist and bigots, and I'm totally against that. And that's what my arguments have been with people that I know. So
people have called me a bigot. Well, a biggin.
Really? But not for why we were talking, right?
No, not because of my ignorance. Unless I'm full of ignorance.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm full on something.
Gotcha.
Yeah, a wiener schnitzel. I'm full on wiener schnitzel.
I grew up living right next door to a wiener schnitzel. And not that this has anything to do with anything, but me and my friends, first of all, I lived on a block that was nothing but boys. So all my friends were little boys. And I was the only girl, so I was like a little tomboy. And we'd ride our bikes up and down the street. And then we'd ride our bikes through the drive-thru. And we'd all like gather our pennies and nickels and dimes and everything. And we'd come up with enough for one large fry and one large soda, and we'd all share.
And that was like $5. Fuck, dude.
It was like $2.
Now it's like
$6. Yeah, it's funny, but anyhow, I have a lot of memories of being at Wiener Schnitzel and playing in the parking lot.
That's really cute.
Yeah.
When I was in elementary school, there was these two little twin blonde girls, and their mom was like a yard lady.
Oh.
Well, no, she wasn't hot enough to be a stripper for sure. But she was a yard lady, so she was at school all the time. So she never was able to make them lunch. And they wouldn't eat school lunch, so she would go out to every day for lunch and buy them chili cheese fries. And they both had chili cheese fries every lunch, and I'd always stare at them like, fucking bitches. I hated them, dude. I'm over here eating like a fucking ugly ass cold chalupa, just looking at these bitches like, you lucky little savages. Fucking hate you.
And they wouldn't share?
No. And well, I wouldn't ask, but also I was like, pfft. And then like every time I would like, my dad would take us out to eat, he'd always be like, "What do you want?" And I always say, "I'm like, I want to go to Wiener Schnitzel."
We got you chili cheese fries.
You're so cute. This is like my Oprah. I love that.
Why is it under her seat?
Am I sitting in it?
Yeah.
But I would always ask if that's true. That's so cute. Thank you. I would always ask my dad to take me to Wiener Schnitzel, and he'd be like, "No, that's bullshit. That's disgusting." And then we'd always go to a fucking Mexican restaurant. I'm like, "We eat this at home every day. I don't want more rice and beans. I want something else."
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, Sylvia.
Yeah. You know what?
You were having the good stuff. And
Honestly, no. I loved my home food. But if we're going out, like, give me something else. You know, fuck it, Chinese. But like, more rice and beans. My dad's, "Oh no, this is so good." I'm like, "No, it's fucking not. It's carne asada, and we have carne asada all the time."
Oh, poor Sylvia.
I know. Sorry, I'm living the good life at home. I also was very neglected. Not with food. I just wanted to even score here. All right. Yes, we had a house full of food, but not love.
Oh, God. Well, you at least had one of them.
Oh, that's true. Well, you know what? At this point in my life, the stage I'm at, kind of wish I had a house full of love instead of food, if I'm being completely honest with you. Probably would have done me a little bit better if I had more love and a little less food.
Oh, my goodness. Whew. Ryan, what's going on with you?
Oh, I can't get over that.
Did we have a house full of love?
Yes.
We most certainly did.
What
I
do you
would say so.
lady?
I would say so.
It was complicated.
But I mean, as an adult, I think you realize, like, there was love. They
There was
loved me
love.
as best as they knew how. Just, you know, people don't know how to express things properly. And when you're an adult, you kind of understand the adults that you were raised by
Yeah.
and how they were doing their best.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
High five.
I think that for me, I've said this many times on this podcast, it flew by.
Yeah.
I was working so hard and I was trying to do it all.
Yeah.
And you don't realize like how much you're not doing. You know, it just sucks. It sucks, but you know.
No, but she did a lot. Like, I talk about it all the time. Like the biggest thing, we talk about my autism a lot, but a lot of like the accommodation that I came across, and it wasn't, you know, like the school wasn't trying, but she pushed for a lot of it. And then in certain circumstances, like they changed policies because
They really did.
my mom wasn't like, okay, settling
Because
with
of
what
him.
their options were. Like in elementary school, they were hoping that I would test badly enough to be considered,
Special ed.
yeah, rhymes with
But it
restarted. But she didn't want to accept that. She's like, no, he knows what he's talking about, because I would score good. I
Yeah.
just didn't do homework. Yeah, I mean, they made a lot of like changes because she made them understand like it's not so cut and dry. It's not either special ed or nothing. It's like further, and by coincidence, like that is what the issue was for a long time with special ed, and then, you know, the country as a whole started to understand that. But for me, it started with like my mom pushing for me to have better accommodation.
That's so nice.
It wasn't just accommodations. To me, it was resources.
Yeah.
Because I knew that there was, I didn't really know what autism was. I just knew that it was something different because I had 3 other kids.
Yeah.
And the dynamic was totally different. And it was about acceptance, and what a relief when he finally got officially diagnosed. He was 14.
Yeah. But I think we
And-
started like a year prior. Like it was
Well,
assessments.
we really started when you were like 9 years old, like 8.
Yeah.
You were like 8 years old, 9 years old, around there, and it just was hitting roadblocks because they didn't believe us, and it was like I really didn't want like special treatment. I wanted something that he can understand, and I don't know. It was a journey. It was a journey, all right. It was crazy. It was crazy. So I was trying to do that, and raise four.
Yeah, and then it was
four
also
of
like,
them.
we were all into stuff. Like, I was into drawing and music. My brothers were into film and music, and then we all got into comedy. My little brother was into football. He was like the first of us to be like, well, our oldest brother was wrestling, but our little brother was like in football. Like, he was in it. So there was always something going on. We were in band. All of us were in band, except the little one. He was in orchestra. So there was always like...
What's the difference?
So it was marching band, and then orchestra is just string instruments and a piano.
Yeah. It's like classical music, and
At least in school, because...
yeah, in school, and you're sitting down. You're sitting down in an orchestra, like in front of having a concert.
Yeah.
But band is like marching band. You're performing. You're playing
Drumline.
trumpets. There you go. Yeah.
I just watched Drumline yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Dropping stuff.
Yeah.
For emphasis.
Drumline.
You wish you were in Drumline?
No. You know who I wish I was in the movie Drumline?
Who?
Stick.
Petey Pablo.
Really?
Yeah.
For context, have you seen Drumline?
I have.
Oh, I haven't. Who's Petey Pablo?
Petey Pablo is a singer.
I'm gonna need more. I don't. In the movie or in real life?
Both.
Oh,
The Morris Brown University hires him for the BET Classic, and no one expects it, and he like comes like in a all white like fur coat, and he's like all fucking G'd out. And he drives in this like lowrider, and then he comes in, he's like, "Everybody happy!" And he's like singing and dancing the whole time, and everyone's like, "Ah, it's Petey Pablo!"
And that's who you wanted to be.
I would have loved to have been Pete. Are you kidding
You
me?
wanted to be the pimp, and that's
Hell
funny.
yeah.
That's so cool.
Even the Morris Brown College ends up losing to A&T. I'd still... Do you know how much they had to pay Petey Pablo for that performance?
What made you watch this?
I don't know. You know what? I was... This happens to me sometimes. You tell me if it happens to you. I use the bathroom a lot. I sit on the toilet quite a bit.
Okay.
Then I just like think about random stuff. And like I thought about that part in Drumline where don't fucking look at me.
He stopped typing. He stopped typing and turned and looked at you.
all right. Now I'm interested.
Where basically they're like all at a kitchen table or like a cafeteria table, and this one guy's like eating a burger all fast because he's trying to go somewhere, and then there's this girl with braids that's in the drum line with them, and then she's like, "I could keep you up," and then he's like, "Really?" And then I was like, "That was so funny. I want to watch Drumline." Does that ever happen to you where you like think of a scene and you're like, "I haven't seen this movie in forever. I want to watch it."
I mean, I
like that you just
suppose.
could have kept that part, but you're like, do you go to the bathroom a lot?
I mean, I suppose. Yeah. I think of something and
Then you get a hankering for the movie. It's like
Yeah.
it's like getting a food craving, but with
Yeah.
a
with
medium.
movies. Yeah, that is true. But usually it's more like I see something about it either online or on social media or on like a ad for it or something.
Yeah.
Like it's, I don't know, I'll see like some kind of advertisement about it, and then I'll be like, I want to watch that again.
Yeah.
That
Are
happened
you-
to me because for the other like a week ago, someone kept quoting Cat in the Hat because there's this scene.
It's a cat for damn. No, that's gonna be the next one. I
It's
gotta
gonna
watch.
be the next. We'll watch it next, like right after this. No. But there's this scene where Mike Myers makes a mess on the wall and he has to clean it up. So he grabs their mom's dress.
Yeah.
Before he starts wiping it on the wall, he goes, "Look at me, I'm a girl." And then, for no reason. Like, the lines in that movie are so out of pocket. The whole movie doesn't hold up, but there's these moments that are hilarious. And so it made me want to watch Cat in the Hat. So me and my brother watched it like 3 times in a row.
What do you mean the whole movie doesn't hold up? I don't understand what you mean. by that.
Like, so, fun fact about this movie, it was so bad critically that the late Dr. Seuss's wife, like, no longer gave permission to make movies involving Dr. Seuss. Like, she banned it for forever. Like, you can make animations, but she that's how bad the movie was. There's jokes that don't land all the way. The acting can sometimes be out of place. It's a movie that was made, like, to fulfill a contractual obligation. So it's like sometimes they're not trying.
She banned?
She banned, like...
She banned?
She owns the rights to the books, the movie rights. So she was like, I'm not letting anyone else make live actions. This was awful.
She banned.
She banned. Okay.
The way she moves. She moves.
That's what it sounded like, Ryan. But how do you know all this, Ryan?
Autism. Bomb, bomb, bomb. I hope the
I
Yvonne
don't
doesn't
know.
come after me. I use that sound a lot.
It's better for them to come after you than before you. Am I right?
Yeah.
It's my mom.
She gets it, dude. She has 4 kids. You're telling me. Am I right? Like, did you have a good time? That's all I'm saying.
No comment. That's a conversation for another time.
Okay, just...
Speaking of
Okay.
balloons,
Oh, yeah, the balloon story. She really wants to tell this story.
you can cut it out, Josh, if it's too...
Cut it out.
Okay, so I give Ryan lots of rides, right?
Yeah.
You guys know that.
Before we...
Oh, stop it. But a lot of my times, my friends are like, hey, we're over here in Covina. Come over. We want to hang out. They're always hanging out. My friends are always hanging out. And so I sometimes have to beg Ryan, Ryan, let's stop by and see my friends. I haven't seen them in a while. Let's stop by. We'll just have one drink and that's it. So finally, I don't know, a few weeks ago, was it a couple of months ago? I convinced them to stop. And so we pull up, we're in Covina, and we both get out of the car, and I see he takes his little bag with him, his balloon bag. So I was like, here we go. So I was like, all right. And, you know, like I was telling you, Brian's just like that all the time, just like, you know, emotionless.
Yeah.
And
Also, it's like midnight, and I spent the whole day recording and then Chatterbox. It wasn't for nothing. I was tired.
but you're like way younger than I am.
So?
It's like he should have more energy than me.
Yeah.
So we go in, and my best friend was there. She wanted me to meet someone, and so they were there. I'm meeting everybody. I'm introducing them, and she had already told them ahead of time. Ryan's a comedian, and so they were pumped to meet Ryan. And Ryan walks in, you know, like with his emotionless expression, and he goes and he sits down. He's like, yeah, and everyone's, hey, Ryan, they tell me you're a comedian. They're like talking to him like this, and he's like, you know, just like that, real somber. And so he sits down.
Call it sleepy.
They want to buy him drinks and stuff like that, and everyone's like, you know, being really friendly, and everyone's already being a little bit rowdy.
Yeah.
It's a small bar. It's a long little bar, but it's small and it's packed. It's packed with people in there, and so they're buying him drinks. And so all of a sudden, I see him bored, and I was like, why don't you make my friend a rose? And so he never says anything when he gets a request. He just opens his bag, and he's like, zoom, you know, and he pulls out a balloon, and he starts pumping it up, whatever. So he makes a rose, And I was just telling my friends, every time he does this, every time I see him do this, like at a bar, he gets a crowd around him. We've been at weddings, we've been at events, and they are just fascinated by him making these balloons, like little animal balloons. So he makes my friend a rose and hands it to her. Well, of course, it was about midnight. My friends are already drunk. So one of them says, I want one. Yeah, she said, I want a penis. So I look at Ryan.
Who doesn't?
I look at Ryan, and he didn't say a word. He just zoop. He starts pumping it, and he starts making it. And we're like all the girls that requested it. They're not even paying attention at this point. But me and one of the guys that was there, and my best friend, we're like, I guess he's making one for real. And we see him, he's making the little balls, you know. They're like, has he made this before? I'm like, Ryan, have you made this before? He's like, no, you know. So I think it was pink, right?
Yeah.
So he makes it, and then it looks like exactly like you would think a penis balloon would look like. Okay, so then he hands it. So I grab it and I hand it to the girl that requested it, and she's like, "Ah!" And the whole little table filled with my friends. They're like, "Oh!" Then another girl goes, "I want one," and she goes, "I want a dark brown one, though." I said, Ryan, do you have one? But it was so loud in there that they couldn't hear like the conversation he and I were having. And he's like, yeah, I think so. So anyways, so he pulls out, all he had was black, okay? So I was like leaned over, I'm like, Ryan, make it really big. He doesn't say a word. He just starts pumping it. You've seen the little pumper, right? Yeah. He just starts pumping it. And I said, make it under the table. And by then they weren't paying attention, you know? And it's like, we're in close proximity, but there's so much going on. There's music blaring. They have monitors and there's games playing. People are playing pool and everyone's just, you know. So all of a sudden, he's done. And this one, it was the same as the other one, just way bigger and like way bigger, right? So he pulls it. So he pulls it out, and it's just like, I was like I grab it, and I was like, here you go. The whole bar went crazy. The whole bar went insane. It was chaos. And then all of a sudden they start going, Ryan, the whole friggin' bar. And he stood just like that. He just looked up at everybody and he's like, and that was it.
I made $15.
Everyone started coming to him and saying, I want one, or can you make a flower for my girlfriend, whatever. And he did, but he's just so freaking hilarious and just doesn't even try. You know what I mean? And that's that story. That was so funny. I wish I would have recorded it, you know?
I love that.
I wish I had a balloon. We could do an outro like during credits where I make the penis.
You don't have your balloons with you?
Not today.
Of all days, Ryan.
Oh my God. You ruined the episode.
I'll make
something. It really,
I'll make
it really could have been something. Could have done quadruple digits.
You just want a big penis.
I'm sorry.
Ain't that the truth?
It seems like every time I'm on
Am I right, ladies?
every
I can
time
stop dropping this.
every time I'm on their show, we're talking about dicks.
I didn't bring it up.
I just had to tell that story. Like, I hope there's a video out there somewhere. Somebody recorded it because that was epic. It was so freaking funny.
We'll work something out.
Sounds lovely.
Yeah,
Time well spent.
There was this guy that he was there with a bunch of girls, and he ended up getting it, and he was loving it so much, and he's like, he wanted one for himself. It was too much. It was way too much. It was a good time, right, Ryan?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's fine.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
You don't have to answer because it's super personal. Did you ever, did you ever date after everything?
What do you mean?
Like, have you dated since, you're not with the dad anymore, right?
Right.
Have you dated?
Yeah.
Were they young when you started dating?
No. Their dad and I, we broke up. We went our separate ways, and they were all little, and they were all like pulling me in different directions. So I didn't date for a long time, years. And when Diego, the youngest, when he got to be about 12 years old, Anthony was about 18 years old, then I started dating.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you dating anyone right now?
I mean, I talk to people.
Okay. You've got friends.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, you and Ryan's dad, all the boys' dad,
Yeah.
broke up when they were younger.
Yes.
And you said that you started dating when?
So we broke up. Okay, so we're married. Obviously, I left. We broke up when I was 6 months pregnant with Diego.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a lot of chaos going on back then. We were really, really young. Him and I were both very young. We had all these boys, you know, and so I just decided enough was enough at that point, and I left. But it was hard. It was so hard for me. I was putting myself through school, and I was trying to get, you know, a good job, which I ended up doing. So at that time when they were too little, I didn't have time to date. I was not interested in that.
Yeah.
And I was just going through my process of healing and going through my process of trying to, you know, it's different when you're that young. When I was that young, I could do it all. I don't think I can do it all now.
Yeah.
But back then, I was like going 1,000 miles a minute with the boys and with my job. I was, you know, just finished school, trying to move up in my career.
Yeah.
And that was my focus. So there was no dating when they were younger. Once Diego was about 12 years old, I remember, then I started dating. Then I thought, like, they're all big enough to, like, stay alone or whatever. And my oldest was 18 at the time. And, yeah, I feel like that's when I kind of started dating.
Nice. What's the longest relationship you've had from then till now?
It was, I've had two long relationships, and they were both about 5 years.
Okay. And right now you're just like you're in.
Right now, I'm not seeing anyone. You know, I have friends I talk to and stuff like that, but I'm not in a committed long-term relationship at the moment. And I mean, you know, that's all I've ever wanted. I wish that it would have worked out, that I could be married and have kids and live happily ever after, but it just didn't work out that way for me.
Right.
So I always wanted that after, and it just hasn't happened for me.
if something, by speaking it into existence, could manifest, right? What would your ideal situation look like?
Just to be in a committed relationship and be with one person. But it's so odd, especially it doesn't matter, because I think, like, how old was I when Diego was 12? I think I was in my late 30s. And I kind of want to say, and maybe the math is wrong, but I kind of want to say I started dating when I was like 36. And it was just like, I think I was barely going out there, and it was different. It was not as bad as it is now. It's so bad now. It's just like so bad right now. The older I get, the more you are set in your ways, and they're set in their ways, and it's just like, you agree, we're just going to be friends. We're not, it's not going to go anywhere, because there's so many things that I don't accept, that I'm just set in my ways. I don't want that.
Right.
And I've had fear. I don't know how we started talking about this, but I've had this fear, like this realization, like maybe I'd like prefer being alone. I've been alone for so long that maybe I prefer it. Yeah. I'm so independent as far as I come and go. I'm always with my sons. I always go to their shows, and sometimes that's been a problem in a relationship. Like, they don't like that I'm, so attached to them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or sometimes they have somebody that's like, let's say they have a kid in soccer, and then they always want me there with them. And it's like, I can't, because I have my kids,
Yeah.
So it's like, it's kind of turns into a problem or whatever. But that's what it is. It is what it is.
You need to date a man whose children are dead.
That's horrible.
Or doesn't have any.
Or doesn't have any.
Yeah, that would have
There's other options. Jesus.
Oh my God.
Or you could murder them. No.
No, I don't condone that.
Oh man, you guys
don't
do
kill
much.
anybody. But if they're already dead, all I'm
Swing for
saying
the
is
fences.
you get them at a good vulnerable.
You know what?
You'd be the star of his life.
You know what? This is so sad. Josh, I want you to cut this out after. I just want to finish this topic here. I did date someone that their child had passed, and it's so sad. It's so
The
sad.
thing is, they also have this like craving for children because theirs are dead. So what do? They attach to your children.
I don't think my kids are attachable. My kids.
You got to work on that. Fuck it, come with the heat.
Oh my
Call him
God.
daddy.
Oh my God, that's never gonna happen. I think I don't know.
Allowance. Yeah,
I'm like kind of like
that's the problem.
believe it or not, I'm like a hopeless romantic for sure, and I believe in love, and I believe in that. Not necessarily the little fairy tale, but I believe in finding someone eventually.
Yeah.
It's just not so much my priority anymore.
Right.
And not only that, I have a lot of fun. Like, I have a fun life. I have friends. I have, the boys keep me busy, and I enjoy myself.
Yeah.
I work. I keep busy. I don't know.
You're good.
I'm good.
Oh, yeah.
It would be good to find someone to match, but I find like I really don't want to talk about this so much, but I find like it's so like a lot of men are so needy. I'm sorry. It's true. Like, Ryan's with me all the time, and he's
The neediest man.
no, like, he's heard it over the phone. Like, you've heard it, right, Ryan?
No, yeah. She means that we talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm not the one.
we do talk about it because he's there listening to me, and we'll like be there blending or packing orders sometimes.
We
and
work
then,
together. I'm not like hanging out.
Right. We're working together, and then he'll hear me answer the phone, and then just like the way I handle it, and then we have to kind of talk about it, you know. But I think Ryan's pretty much heard it all.
Do you think it would be more convenient to date if all that, you know, whatever? Would you rather date younger or older?
You're not going to believe this, but I always felt like I should date someone older. I'm like old school that way. And at a certain point, I haven't necessarily changed my mind entirely, but there was one time, a missed opportunity. There was this guy that I was dating, and he was absolutely gorgeous. He was absolutely gorgeous, and he was really, really nice, and he was really, really wealthy. I'm talking a wealthy like I can't even comprehend. Like came from
I feel like everyone watching right now just went, girl.
Yeah. I would have come from that. Don't cut it.
Leave it in.
I really liked him a lot.
Emphasize it. Put a highlight on it.
I really liked him a lot. I think I was about 40, between 40 and 42, let's say. I don't remember. But he told me he was 36. And I was like, well, that's not that bad.
Yeah.
So we started dating, and I really liked him. I ended up really, really liking. I've never talked about him to you guys, but he's the one that helped me with all the marketing. Remember? I used to talk about him, that my friend helps me with all this marketing and advertising and stuff like that when I barely had started my business. And it turned out after several months, and after I was like, had feelings for him, I found out he was 31. So
that's not that crazy.
well, now I'm
far-fetched.
like correcting the math, because I just remember he was 11 years younger than I was. So he was 30 and I was 41, maybe something like that. And I just thought that was too far apart for me. I just thought that, and he didn't have any kids. And then after that, I found out his family was loaded. His family was like completely loaded, but he didn't want me to know that about him. He wanted me to care about him for him.
Right.
And I did.
Yeah.
But then it was overwhelming to know that he was so loaded. Like I felt like we didn't match. So it was awkward, and I totally remember. I have weird thing about I remember dates.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say the date right now because I remember it was January 26th. But not this January 26th. It was years ago, years ago. But I remember we were supposed to go out on January 26th, and it was the day Kobe Bryant died.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't end up going. I chose not to. There was another person that I was talking to that was older, and I felt like I should have chosen the older because it was more, I don't know, more matched more. And it was a total mistake.
Yeah.
And he was so devastated. He was so devastated that I chose not to go out with him. And I was honest and straightforward. And I said, I just think you're too young. And I think, you don't have any kids yet. And I think you deserve to, blah, 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 blah.
That's crazy. Imagine
Angel.
every time someone brings up Kobe Bryant.
That's what you're thinking about?
He thinks of the time my mom dumped his ass.
He didn't match you. He could have matched your 401k. Are you kidding me? Oh my god!
Match it. He
could have doubled it.
He could have 10 times. No, these people were
Saudi?
loaded.
What was he?
Yeah, he was Middle Eastern.
I fucking knew it. I knew it. Oh man, whew. All right, hell yeah. Big beard, huh?
Jesus Christ! No, he didn't have a big.
The only that would make that.
I'll show you a picture of him right now.
I want to see it.
I'll show you after. I'll show you after. He was a very good looking guy. Yeah.
I believe it.
But anyhow, yeah, things happen. Missed opportunities. What can you do?
You know what? Días de los Muertos. You gotta let them live. You gotta let them die.
There you go.
Is that a song?
What are you gonna do?
Live and let die.
Sorry.
Oh, man. You know what? Not for nothing. I'm not a fortune teller. I can't see the future and I can't see the past, but sometimes I'm fucking on it. Sometimes I hit the, the thing.
Some people might call it racist, but I call it superstition. No, I was trying to think of it. We'll cut that out.
Was that racist?
No, I was trying to do a bit, but I couldn't think of the words.
It's like,
Ay. How do we start talking about this?
I have no fucking
I asked you very deeply
Something
personal
about-
question and you agreed to answer.
It was my stupid fault.
No. It's your right. You did great. And I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
I thought you were trying to
appreciate
say,
that.
like, no, not your stupid fault, your stupid right.
I made this.
Are you trying to, like, slumber party
What
best
is
friends
this?
my mom right now?
You got to read it from
It's
the
a
three.
it's a dream catcher. You can't just pick and you gotta do the thing.
No. You read it. You got to read it.
Audio podcast.
Oh, but it's on
Is
video.
What do you mean?
You guys aren't saying anything.
I just said out loud.
I'm
it's a
just
dream
trying to-
catcher.
It's
Or no,
you know
what
the
is
song?
cootie catcher?
369.
The foldy
Damn you
thingies?
fine.
Google cootie
No,
catcher.
I
You'll
don't.
find
You
it.
don't know that song?
No.
No,
Let's
hers
do
was-
it. Ready?
Hers is like when you pick a color.
You have to lift these things to put your fingers in them.
Oh.
Here,
You
let me-
didn't have daughters.
let me-
No, I
I know how
didn't.
to make one. I'm autistic.
So, who asked me the other day, oh, I know who it was. It was Ronnie. Asked me the other day, or just yesterday, I think, if I missed that I didn't have daughters. And I was like,
feels
I
backwards somehow.
feel like I always wanted a daughter,
Yeah.
but I don't know what I'm missing. So,
We're not that great. Tell you what.
I think
I tell you what.
I think I got really lucky, and okay, I got
Wait
it.
for the audio listeners.
It's a
It's a cookie catcher.
Okay.
It's a fortune teller.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Are we talking about?
Sex, bait. No, I shouldn't say that.
What?
Are we talking about someone in particular, or what?
No, you just ask them to pick a number or that.
Say pick a color.
We say pick a number.
So I pick it or you pick it?
I pick it.
Okay. Pick a
Okay,
number.
damn you fine.
So what do I do?
So then you go
You.
brother.
DAMNYOUFIA.
That's why I was saying pick a color. Like pick red. RED.
There's numbers on there for a
Well,
reason.
feels like you explained that.
So I made a fortune teller. Okay, and then I'm gonna go sucka. So then you go SUCKY. YA. And then hey. And then that's the one you open to the wall.
What does that mean?
And let me explain it to you. This is what I'm saying is I didn't make it to be useful.
Sylvia, you're freaking
She made
killing
it
my
to incite
soul here.
madness. Jesus.
No, see, 369, damn you fine. Hey, sucka, sucka, one more time, get low, and then to the window, to the wall,
Oh my
to the sweat
God.
drip off my ball, and then this one. You can read this one.
Till all the bitches crawl.
Yeah. And then you gotta go, ah, ski, ski.
Oh,
it's-
skeet.
There you go.
It's not a coochie catcher. It's a skeet
Oh.
catcher.
It'll catch them if you know how to play it right.
It'll catch something.
It'll catch something.
How long have you had your boyfriend?
Hard pivot.
Yeah, let's talk about
Oh,
you
this took
now.
a turn. This took a turn.
That's going to be the name of the episode. This took a turn.
5 years. Oh, the water was
5
caught in my
years?
throat. Yeah,
It's a long time.
yeah.
Yeah, that
Wait a
is.
minute.
Yeah, so it's serious.
I fucking hope so. It better be. No, it's pretty serious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You can ask questions. I'm an open book.
Oh God.
Yeah. I might lie.
No, you gotta keep it 100.
I will keep it 100. You can ask whatever you'd like.
So you said you hope it's serious.
Yeah.
So what is your expectation?
I think
What
we're
is
on
your
the same-
outcome
I think we're on the same wavelength. We talk about it a lot.
about getting married?
Marriage isn't really my goal or concern. I don't really.
Long-term domestic partnership.
Yeah. I just want to be happy. I just want us to be together and happy and work towards whatever we want at that time.
Do you live together?
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Well, good for you, Sylvia.
Any
I
more
think I won't.
pets?
Oh, for sure. Right now, it's just our son, which is a little wiener dog.
What is it?
Oh, yeah, and Eric Cerrone, he's also our son. The drummer from Idiots United.
The stallion. Bringing it back.
What is it about? What is it about young people, your guys' age, that you wait so long to have kids? Like,
The world
do you?
is just awful.
No, I think the marketing campaigns worked on us. Because there was like 16 and pregnant, and all of our parents, had kids really young, and they were like,
Miserable.
I fucked up my life, don't do it. And we're just like, even if we wanted to, we couldn't afford it. But also, I feel like we spoke about sex a lot more openly. There was sex ed. We were a lot more well versed in like, hey, there's like, these are consequences. You don't want to, and then kids are going to suck the life out of you. And we're just like, we can't afford a home, So it just kind of all played a part together.
I gotcha.
But I want kids. I want to be a mom. I don't care how it happens. So I'd rather not get pregnant just because I'm already working with too much here, But also I'm terrified of like tearing it up.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah. Did you do all natural? God.
Oh my gosh, we don't have to.
Who was the biggest?
But we already know. Not me, surprisingly.
Diego.
Yeah? How much did he weigh?
He weighed 8 pounds 9 ounces.
His name was. They nicknamed him Gordo so much that he thought that was his name for a second.
My brother was 11 pounds.
Oh, well, the three of them, the first three were 7-pound babies.
Right.
I was the runt for a long time.
And so to go from that to Diego, and I don't even know why he was so big, because
It's all that
when
love.
when
He watches.
I had Anthony and Dominic, I lost weight after. And then when Ryan, I tried really hard not to gain weight when I was pregnant with Ryan, and I'd walk a lot.
I caught all of it.
And I feel like the walking made his delivery. He just came right out
Yeah, they say that.
like he it was really, really easy delivery. And with Diego, I blew up. I doubled my size during that pregnancy, literally doubled my size. And I was like, I'm 5 foot.
Yeah.
And I was just so big. I can't remember right now how much I weighed, but I remember the nurse turned and looked at me like, oh my God, because I each time had kept getting bigger and bigger, and I tried not to,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I guess because I was still young. I was still really young.
Yeah.
And when he was born, they were like, "Oh my God, he looks like a football player." And he was. And then like the staff would come in and say, "Wow, he looks 2 months old already."
Wow.
You know, he just was really big. He had this huge neck. Like you've seen him, he still has a huge neck, but he just came out looking like a little massive wrestler or something. Yeah. And man, I went through a lot of pain during his delivery, and with all the rest of them, I wanted it natural, and it was tolerable, and they were easy pregnancies.
It's funny how that, dude, there's so many things about the differences in our births that's so funny. Like, people see me and they're surprised, but I wasn't just small. I was the smallest of the four of us for a while. Like, obviously Diego was smaller than me because he was younger, but comparatively, his size at the ages were taller than my size at the same ages. At one point, we were the same height for like 3 years.
He finally stretched out, and finally,
like junior year of high school.
And he's always had like really wide shoulders. Their dad does, and so he's always had this huge, massive neck. Like it looks like he wants to kill somebody, but he doesn't. And but he was just a really big baby for a long time, a big toddler, like huge. Like I'd carry him on my side everywhere. I was one of those moms that had him on my hip all the time, and him holding his hand because he was just like running, causing chaos everywhere. They were a handful.
I think that's why they fed me so much. Slow me down.
They were a handful.
It's a good tactic.
It's funny. I wish like I should honestly, because it's 4 boys, I should like compare when they started doing what, when they started talking.
There's a lot of funny stuff. Like just the stories about the days we were born is very comparative to like our personalities.
Yeah.
Like I think Diego took the longest because he tried to go back in.
You what?
Anthony's was the easiest. Dominic was the longest.
No, Dominic was the shortest. But he was the most painful.
Right.
That was bad.
Me,
yeah.
Did you feel you were going to die? Did you do it natural?
I thought I was going to die. It just felt like... It just felt like... I'm going to say it. Fuck it. It felt like someone was stabbing me in the vagina the entire time.
Jeez.
It was 1 hour and 45 minutes of agony.
How long were you in labor for?
1 hour and 45 minutes.
Wait.
Sorry.
Oh, you said it was the shortest.
It was the shortest.
But the most painful.
Yes.
The most painful. And then
it felt like somebody was killing me. I swear to God.
I think mine was like the average time, but the thing about mine was that they did not believe that you were having me.
Right.
Like she shows up at the hospital like I'm having a baby, and they're like, no.
Yeah, literally.
And it wasn't until your water broke that they believed you.
Yeah, and he came out in 3 hours from the time I got to the hospital until the time he was born. It was 3 hours later, and I was not listening to them because they weren't listening to me. Yeah. So I was like, I'm having this kid. Yeah. I know he's coming. I know what the hell it feels like. He's coming. Yeah. And they weren't ready. And they were like, wait, hold on. Even their dad was like, hold on. And I was like, not listening to anybody. I was like, this kid's coming right now. Came out.
You're not.
Nice. Did it still hurt?
I mean,
afterward, it's instant. When the babies are born, it's instant relief.
I've heard, and it's like we have like this thing that makes us forget about the pain so that we want to keep
I'll remember until the day I die.
And so will we. She won't stop.
She won't let me forget
it. Diego was...
Also, we were all born on a Wednesday.
Is that true?
Yeah, it is.
I've seen the birth certificates.
People hate Mondays. You're like, Wednesdays are the worst.
Diego's like the only one I got medication for. I just could not to bear it any longer. And they were like, this is like the last moment. Decide now if you want to or not. Because I kept saying, well, just hold on. Hold on. But at a certain point, I was like, give me a double. Yeah. Give me 2 of whatever. And they did. And
you didn't take any medication with anybody else?
No. But Anthony's and Ryan's was really easy. Like, really, really easy. It was Dominic that was really, really, really painful.
Yeah, Dominic.
It was so weird how it was just so painful. But thank God it only lasted an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy? And then the dads get to come in and be like, it's got to have my last name. It's like, go fuck yourself. You know? It's like, cool, yeah, I'm going to just break my cooch apart. But yeah, give them your name. You did all the hard work.
It's, yeah.
Bullshit, huh?
It is.
My mom said that when she was in the hospital with me that she was watching El Chavo del Ocho and she started laughing that she thought she farted. And then she told my dad, like, hey, can you check it out? And then my head was out of her vagina.
Yeah, shit like that happens.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining.
That's
like,
exactly what happened.
Yeah.
She's laughing. You just hear.
Yeah.
So what did your dad do?
He goes, "Ay, wait, espérate. And then he went and he called the nurse. He's like, her head is out. And the nurse is like, there is no way her head is out. And she's like, oh shit, you gotta stop pushing. We gotta get the doctor. My mom was like, I'm not pushing.
When that's what they were telling me with Ryan, like, stop. And I was like, I ain't stopping.
Yeah.
You just want the relief.
Yeah. And also, how are you going to stop somebody's natural process? If your body is telling you to push, you got to push. Unless it's like your life is in danger or the child's life is in danger. If you were to continue to push, it's going to kill somebody. If they're not prepared, it's like,
It feels
I'm gonna push.
it feels like it's the opposite.
You're not supposed to push and you were pushing?
No. It feels like not if the baby's life's in danger. It feels like your life is in danger.
If
Yeah.
you don't push.
Get rid of the little cretin, the little infection inside of you. What the hell? I'm trying to live.
Exactly.
I could have more kids.
I mean, I'm thinking in my head, I was not listening. I just wanted, relief. And I'm thinking, there's 3 of you, there's 1 of me.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody better catch them.
Yeah.
And I guess they did,
Yeah.
So, yeah, good times.
Yeah.
Well, it's been great having you on.
I'm sorry this took a turn, right? But I told you I would talk about the Dodgers.
Yeah, I didn't direct any of it. This is all you do.
Are you guys, any of you Dodger fans?
Of course.
We're from LA.
Of course.
It was crazy,
Yeah.
insane.
A lot of people were talking about.
Madness.
Beautiful. LA is up. We're up right now.
We're all the way up.
We're all the way up.
A lot of people were talking about like they're gonna lose on purpose to make it staged, so it's more exciting. I'm like, nah, dude, they're gonna New York. Can fuck
I
off.
was one
Yeah.
of those.
Yeah.
I was one of those. I thought for sure they're going to come back and win in LA.
And it's
Because
like, how much
each
better would
game
be
makes so much money.
home turf.
Imagine the millions of dollars they make on just one game.
That's true.
It's crazy. The merchandise they sell, the food they sell at the game. There's 50,000 spectators
Yeah.
in that stadium. And they saw, like I was watching it on the news, the parade. It was like hundreds of thousands. I just thought it was
The
amazing.
streets were filled. I so bad wanted to go. And it was the one
I
day
was
I had to
working.
do my job. Yeah.
I couldn't go, but I kind of did want to go too, but people weren't even making it that far.
Mm-hmm.
The trains were completely filled. They wouldn't even pick up new passengers because it was
capacity.
at capacity. It was over capacity, I want to say. But those people like standing on the overhead, so when the buses started going underneath, they were like got to see them and wave at them. It was just incredible. And like for me and my friends, like my age group, my friends, I have a small group of friends that we've been friends since elementary school.
Wow.
And we, we're like, we don't agree on football teams, but we all agree on the Dodgers.
Yeah.
And it's just like this. We'll hang out in Covina, on Citrus, and it's just like watching the games and hearing everyone cheer and everyone's wearing their Dodger gear. It's just like, I don't know. It's like LA. It's so LA.
Yeah. It just feels like hometown hero type shit, you know? You know, the first game of the series that they won, I was doing a show with the Idiot Boys, and Josh and I were eating pizza, right? And the Dodger game is playing in the background. And I'm very invested watching this game.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know it was going to be on. And I was like, oh, this is... And everyone's in Dodger gear. Everyone was there for that reason.
Yeah.
And the whole time, Josh is like talking. And I'm over here like, yes, let's fucking go. Like watching the screen. And he's over here like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what the hell? What are you? A woman? You know? I'm like, listen here, little lady. Daddy's watching TV.
I was in Vegas for my birthday weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And I was there with my son Anthony, and we were watching it. We were watching Game 2, I believe it was. And the next day we were watching Game 3 there. And it was fun. There was a lot of people in their gear over there. And one of the bartenders was like, well, I'm from Brooklyn. And I was like, well, you're going to lose tonight. You know, the camaraderie, you know. It's fun. It's a fun thing. And I really love it. I really enjoy it. And I'm like still celebrating that.
I know. It's not going to go away. That feeling hasn't gone away. It's still right
it's still
high.
there.
Well, thank you again for it. It's always a pleasure to have you on the podcast. And you seem to hit it off with Sylvia pretty quickly.
We're besties.
They're besties, and I'm Ryan. So from us at this show, we still don't have an outro. Bye.
Bye.